In the OR, they've slowed the blood loss. A quiet intensity has now settled into the room. If things don't end well, it then becomes one of the toughest parts of a surgeon's job.
Prince Harry may not make it. Diagnosed with stage 4 autoimmune disease, a condition that silently ravages the body with deadly force, Harry's life has entered a state of emergency. But what has made this situation more explosive than ever? Much of the tension stems from leaked information by a hospital nurse revealing one shocking detail. Harry allegedly requested that his wife Meghan not be allowed to visit him while he was in a weakened state. The leak sent shockwaves through the public, the royal family, and especially Meghan herself, who suddenly found herself at the center of speculation and harsh criticism. As Harry battles for his life, the question looms: is this merely a health crisis, or the breaking point in the already turbulent saga of the royal family? The answer, it seems, may not be as simple as it appears. A shocking diagnosis from Harry. The British royal family has always stood out not only for its fame, but also for its complex and often conflicted relationships. While they are seen by the public as a symbol of strength and consistency behind closed doors, their bonds have frequently been tested. The relationship between Prince Harry and the royal family, especially with King Charles and Prince William, serves as a clear example of wounds that are not easily healed. Long before Harry received the diagnosis of stage 4 autoimmune disease, tensions had been high. From his controversial decision to step back from royal duties to public debates over the treatment of his wife Meghan, the fractures had already formed. When news of Harry's condition was made public, it sent shockwaves, not only through the royal family, but also across the media and the general public. Stage 4, autoimmune disease, a condition that severely weakens the immune system and undermines the body's ability to defend itself, poses a life-threatening challenge. Harry now faces not only the physical toll of the illness, but also the immense pressure of public scrutiny and relentless criticism. This illness is not just a personal health crisis, it could further deepen the existing cracks within his already fragile familial relationships. The reactions from members of the royal family have only added to the drama. King Charles, already battling his own cancer diagnosis, is once again confronted with the devastating reality of having a son in critical condition. As the head of the monarchy, Charles could no longer hide his vulnerability in the face of such inescapable suffering. While he grapples with his own illness, his concern for Harry's condition weighs heavily on him. Prince William, who had long kept his distance from Harry, made an unexpected move by writing a letter of apology and flying to the United States to visit his brother. This gesture caught many by surprise. Over the years, Harry and William had clashed repeatedly, especially over Harry and Meghan's decision to step back from royal duties and build an independent life. So why now? Why choose this moment to show concern? That question has sparked intense speculation. Could it be that only when confronted with the possibility of loss do the bonds of family truly resurface? Public discourse continues to question William's motives. How can one explain such a sudden shift in attitude from a brother who had kept his distance for so long? Was this a momentary reaction driven by fear for Harry's health, or had the grim diagnosis simply overshadowed every previous grievance? Regardless of the answer, William's trip to visit his brother has prompted a larger question: can a life-threatening illness truly change everything within the royal family? Or is it just a fleeting pause in a long and turbulent series of events? Thus, the story of Harry's illness has become more than a personal battle. It serves as a stark reminder of how deeply complicated family relationships can be, even among those bound by blood and tradition. In the end, not even royalty is immune to pain, division, or the fragile nature of human connection. The royal crisis. When Prince Harry's illness became public, Meghan Markle, his wife, found herself at the center of a firestorm of attention and controversy. In one of the most vulnerable moments of Harry's life, as he battled a devastating illness, Meghan was not simply the concerned spouse. Instead, she became a polarizing figure once again, drawn into the whirlwind of public scrutiny. Over the years, Meghan has consistently been a subject of debate, her decisions, her behavior often considered unorthodox or divisive by public standards. But during this medical crisis, rather than receiving sympathy, she once again became the object of suspicion and criticism, further complicating an already tense situation. Meghan's reaction during this time has raised many questions. She stood by Harry, but was it purely out of love or part of a calculated effort to protect her public image? Known for her resilience and self-defense, Meghan has also been fiercely protective of her career and reputation. Since joining the royal family, she has faced relentless attacks from the media and public alike, especially after choosing to step back from royal duties alongside Harry. In the midst of Harry's illness, a leaked report from a hospital nurse sent shockwaves through the public. According to the source, Harry had requested that Meghan not visit him during his most fragile moments. This revelation only intensified doubts about their relationship. Was this request genuine, or was it part of a narrative being shaped by Meghan's PR machine? Why would such a request be made during a time of such personal turmoil? Was Meghan truly being kept at bay, or was she, in fact, keeping herself away to avoid further criticism? This leak sparked intense debate. Some believed Harry's alleged request reflected the overwhelming stress he was under, not only from his health condition, but also from ongoing familial and media tensions. Others suspected Meghan of using the situation to rebuild her image after years of negative press. After all, if she was not visibly present by Harry's side, she risked becoming irrelevant, or worse, painted as uncaring. This incident raises a broader question. Is Meghan truly a victim of public misunderstanding, or is she an active participant in a media game she's learned to play all too well? This wouldn't be the first time Meghan faced harsh judgment, and perhaps even in such a painful moment, she still feels the need to protect her brand. But is such protection warranted when the spotlight should be on Harry's health, not her reputation? The leak not only reignited scrutiny of Meghan, but also escalated tensions within the royal family. Critics argued that Meghan failed to rise to the occasion during crisis, choosing instead to capitalize on the situation to maintain relevance. But is that really the truth? Or are these just assumptions by outsiders who may not understand the emotional turmoil she's enduring? Which brings us to a fundamental question. Is Meghan truly a strong, loyal partner by Harry's side during his darkest hours? Or is she prioritizing her image in front of the world? These questions can only be answered through a more empathetic and objective lens, one that goes beyond tabloid headlines and into the complexity of personal struggles within a public life. As Harry battles a stage 4 autoimmune disease, not only is his health at stake, but the very fabric of the royal family is being stretched to its limits. The crisis has torn open old wounds among the royals, many of which had never truly healed. While Harry faces the physical and emotional toll of his diagnosis, the rest of the royal family is grappling with their own internal conflicts. The relationship between Harry and the family, particularly with King Charles and Prince William, has been fractured for years. Ever since Harry and Meghan stepped down from royal duties, the rift only deepened. However, news of Harry's condition sparked unexpected reactions. King Charles himself, battling cancer, was visibly shaken by his son's declining health. Prince William, despite years of estrangement, wrote a letter of apology and flew to the United States to visit his brother, a move that surprised many and signaled a shift in sentiment. These actions, while unexpected, hinted at a possible thaw in family relations. But the underlying tension between Meghan and the royal household remained unresolved. Despite showing public concern and care for Harry, Meghan continued to be met with skepticism. Was her concern genuine, or was it strategic? Was she truly supporting her husband, or trying to reshape her public image amid crisis? Criticism, suggesting Meghan prioritized visibility over Harry's well-being, only intensified. These accusations came not only from the public, but allegedly from individuals close to the royal family, those familiar with the unspoken sacrifices behind the palace walls. This leads to yet another difficult question. Is Meghan genuinely invested in her family and Harry's health, or is she more focused on maintaining relevance and control over her public persona? These are difficult accusations, and their legitimacy can only be weighed against the fuller, more nuanced reality known only to those closest to the situation. In the end, Harry's illness and the resulting turmoil within the royal family serve as a stark reminder. No matter the title, wealth, or power, family is still built on love, trust, and forgiveness. Relationships that seem irreparably broken can sometimes heal if people are willing to set aside ego and embrace each other during the hardest moments. At the same time, we must also acknowledge the importance of mental health and personal privacy in today's world. The media and the public, though often seen as sources of support, can just as easily become unbearable sources of pressure. In this modern era, can we find a balance between curiosity and compassion, between public interest and private pain? It's a question we must each ask ourselves, and perhaps through stories like these, we'll better understand the true value of love, grace, and forgiveness in the lives of even the most public figures. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest analyses.